So apparently, the Warriors haven't offered Klay Thompson a contract. And according to reports, it's becoming more and more likely that Klay Thompson might finish his career somewhere else. Klay Thompson is apparently holding out for a 3-year deal from someone, but no team is willing to give him 3 years. The Orlando Magic are apparently only willing to give Klay Thompson a 1-year deal. So it's looking like Klay Thompson's market is nowhere near what he expected it to be. This is a tough situation. You got a franchise legend in Klay Thompson who feels disrespected by the franchise with their attempts to re-sign him. And then on top of that, his market is nowhere near what he expected it to be. No team is offering Klay a 3-year deal. He might be hard-pressed to find a team to offer him a 2-year deal. Klay Thompson's 34 years old, bro. And when you factor in the 2 lower leg injuries, an ACL tear, and an Achilles rupture back-to-back, in actuality, he's probably more like 37 physically. Like, come on, bro. Ain't nobody giving you a 3-year deal. Klay's been a little delusional about his value around the league. To be honest with you, I blame his management. His representation and his friends and family around him has been giving him terrible advice. Klay should have took that initial extension the Warriors offered him, which was reportedly 2 years for $48 million. Now, there's no offer on the table at all. I just think that leads back to his representation. They're giving him terrible advice. 2 teams that apparently had major interest in Klay Thompson, the Orlando Magic and the 76ers. It sounds like that interest was exaggerated. Klay was hoping to get a contract offer from a different team so he could bring it back to the Warriors and ask them to match it. But now I guess we'll have to wait and see how free agency plays out. Based off how Klay Thompson's played these past few seasons, I would say his value is somewhere around $18 million a year. If I'm the Warriors, I would offer him 2 for $36. That's $18 a year flat. I don't think he's beating that anywhere else. I mean, look at Malik Monk. Monk just re-signed with the Kings for 4 for $78. That's $19.5 million a year. So if Malik Monk only got $19.5 a year, where does that leave Klay Thompson in terms of value? Mind you, Malik Monk is 8 years younger than Klay, and he's currently the better player. If Malik Monk's at $19.5, I feel like 18's fair for Klay. And I feel like Klay is so prideful, even if the Warriors came with the best money offer, he might leave and go somewhere else and take less money just out of spite. Klay's a very proud dude. I can definitely see him doing that. So it's not looking good right now for Klay returning. Warriors fans, just hope for the best because it's a very high chance Klay is out of here. Moving on, the Warriors are expected to guarantee Looney's $8 million contract this year. He only had $3 million guaranteed if the Warriors cut him, but it looks like the Warriors are going to keep him around. And according to Anthony Slater, Warriors reporter, he's insinuating that the Warriors are going to use his $8 million contract in a trade if need be. So for those that are happy Looney's back, that's dope. Be happy. But just know that $8 million expiring contract is essentially salary filler in any trade. So any trade that goes down, I promise you Looney's the first one thrown in there just to make salaries work. Next up is CP3. The Warriors are apparently exploring different avenues to utilize his $30 million contract. His contract can be fully non-guaranteed this week, but the Warriors have been in contact with Chris Paul about pushing his guarantee date back, suggesting there's been communication on both ends about a possible trade. Chris Paul's well aware of his contract, and he's well aware he could be salary filler. And I don't think Chris Paul minds that too much, because that would mean he's getting his $30 million contract guaranteed for this season. He gets traded to another team, they either cut him to keep him around, but either way, he gets his $30 million. So Chris Paul's more than willing to cooperate. All right, next up, I want to get into some trade scenarios, because we got some news that a few centers might be on a trading block. First up is Brook Lopez, who's reportedly on a trading block right now. He was a trade target I had on my radar this offseason. I just didn't know if he was available. But now we're getting reports that he's most definitely available, and the Bucks are gauging his trade value. With that being the case, you know I had to fire up the trade machine. All right, here's my trade offer for the Bucks. Moses Moody, Kevon Looney, Gary Payton, and 3 first-round picks for Brook Lopez. I feel like this trade is fair on both ends. Mind you, Brook Lopez is 34 years old and he has a history of back problems. Now, obviously his archetype, a stretch 5 that's a rim protector, is very rare. So it's kind of hard to gauge his value around the league when you factor in his age and his injury history. But he is a very rare archetype that every team covets. I couldn't bring myself to add in a first round pick. I don't know how much of a deal breaker that is, but I feel like Moses Moody is first round pick value. Then you add in the 3 second round picks. And then you have Gary Payton, who the Bucks can actually use because they have 0 point of attack defense. Then you factor in Kevon Looney. They're losing a center in this trade, so they get one back. Obviously, Looney's nowhere near as good as Brook Lopez, but that's not the point. He's just an extra body to have in the front court since we're losing a starting center. He's from Milwaukee, he's a great vet in the locker room, and he's an expiring contract, as well as Gary Payton. So they're getting 2 expiring contracts, plus Moses Moody, a 6'5" wing with a 7-foot wingspan. That's a 2-way player who still has a little upside to explore. So that's my trade for the Bucks. I'm not sure how realistic that is. I'm hesitant to include first-round picks just because of his age and his injury history. If it was a first-round pick that had to be included, it would need to be a protected pick. You put Brook Lopez next to Draymond, who provides size, who's also a stretch 5 and a rim protector. Those are 3 things the Warriors need, and Brook Lopez provides all 3. Like I said, he's a very rare archetype. There's not too many stretch 5s in the league, let alone stretch 5s that are rim protectors. I believe Brook Lopez finished top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting. So, I mean, even at age 34, like, he's still a really good defender. Like, Draymond always says he plays better defense when he has a back line behind him, kind of like Andrew Bogut. Brook Lopez is similar to Andrew Bogut defensively, similar size as well, but he can shoot. He also can post up if he has a mismatch down low. So if you put a little dude on him, he can most definitely go to work down low. I just think having a tandem of Brook Lopez, TJD, and Draymond, that center rotation is perfect. You got Brook Lopez, who provides the size as a legit 7-footer and a stretch 5 aspect. You got TJD, who's your vertical threat and athletic center. Then you got Draymond, who's your small ball 5. It's honestly a perfect compliment. The only thing is that it's just risky with Brook Lopez's health concerns. But if Lopez can stay healthy, he's the exact center the Warriors need. Brook Lopez at center also makes Kuminga playable at the 3. If you got a stretch 5 who's a legit threat, all of a sudden there's way more driving lanes for Kuminga when that big man isn't in the paint camping. I honestly think Brook Lopez would unlock this team. Giving Draymond a rim protector behind him so he's free to roam is also huge. And now even if our point of attack defenders get beat off the dribble, not only do we have Draymond and TJD to help protect the rim, you got 7-foot Brook Lopez as well. If the price is right, Brook Lopez honestly makes too much sense for the Warriors. So y'all let me know if there's any other trade targets I should talk about. Anyways, that's all I got for y'all. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Holla at you on the next one. Peace.